Good afternoon, students. So here today I'm starting with today's topic. Yesterday you have done primary data and secondary data. What is primary data? What is secondary data? I have told you yesterday. Today now you will see what are the processes. Okay, today now you will see what are the processes or what are the steps or what are the methods through which primary data are collected and through which the secondary data are collected. So first your primary, I made a table for you so that you can able to understand, or it will be in your mind very easily. A table always keeps there in your mind very easily compared to the theory. Okay, under primary data, how we will gather or how we will collect primary, there are different methods to collect this primary data. First is your direct personal investigation. Second, indirect oral investigation. Third, information from local sources or correspondence. Fourth, information through filling questionnaires and schedule. This information through filling questionnaires and schedule has two more method: mailing method, enumerators method, and at last telephonic interviews. And in secondary data, what are the processes of collection of secondary data? There are I can tell you there are published sources and unpublished sources. I have forgotten to written here. This is the published sources. Okay, students. I forgotten to write here. This is the published sources and published. Unpublished sources does not have anything. All is have published sources. What is published sources? Under published sources, it has government publications, publications of internal bodies, semi-official publications, report of committee and commissions, private publications. Under private publication, there are journal and newspapers, research institutions, professional trade policies, annual reports of joint stock companies, articles, market reviews and reports. Now, primary data, directly come in contact with somebody, and secondary data, it's an indirect collection of data indirectly, which data you get. Primary data requires some time, secondary data requires less time, because it has secondary data are always taken from the previous year's data or information. But primary data, every person, I have to interact with each and every person in the society or community, and we will get a primary data. Now this primary data, first method of collecting this primary data, here is it: direct personal investigation. Now what is this direct personal investigation, students? It is personal interview. Now you can see for many detergents, many laptop, for washing machine or many things, etc, etc, peoples or the salesperson comes to our home and they sit down. Okay, ask many questions to you, your father, your mother, it may be anybody. So now this is also a collection of primary data. Now what is this? What is written here? The direct personal investigation is the method by which data are personally collected by the investigator from the informants. In other words, informant means student who is present there. For example, salesman comes to you, so you are the informants because you are providing information or data to that salesman, and salesman is the investigator who has comes to investigate related upon some matters or topics. In other words, investigator is in direct contact with the people from whom the information is sought. Yes, he is coming direct contact with you, he is coming directly to you, he is not by via from somebody, he is getting some information, he is coming to you directly. Success of this method depends on efficiency, impartiality, and tolerance of the investigator. Yes, these three words are very, very important. First of all, a salesman or the investigator should be efficient, should be impartial, means he should not make partiality among different people. And third, tolerant or tolerance level, he should be able to tolerate. There are certain people who are very much bad in behavior with those investigator or salesmen, so he has to tolerate. And after tolerating, he has to gather all his or her data or information from that informant. The person or the investigator will be more efficient, more impartial, more tolerable. That investigator can able to gather a good and a quality information, quality data. Otherwise it will be all vague of statement. He cannot able to get any state, because if he is very much angry, then he will be very much intolerable. He cannot able to tolerate the informant. He also will give a bad behavior or provide a bad behavior to the informant, and the investigator may move out from your house. This may be possible. He has to tolerate whatever the person informant will tell him or her. He has to tolerate those things. By part of the tolerance, if that investigator can able to gather some information, it will be good for him. Okay, so this is the total. Now this all these methods, you will always be having 2 marks or 3 marks question. Write a short. It will not tell you to write many things about the 6 marks question. May not come from this type of methods. Methods will carry only 2 marks or 1 marks, I may think so. So there are some merits and there are some demerits also. Okay, accuracy, it should be accurate. Originality, it should be original. Reliability, you should reliable to the investigator who has came to you, who is asking some questions to you. So there are some demerits also. What are the demerits? Difficult to study vast areas, costly, personal bias, complex. Now directly going to a person asking some question create many problems. Okay, difficulty study. If the family is very much big, it is very much irritating and difficult, and the area is very big, then also it is very difficult. Costly, yes, of course, primary data, collection of primary data is always costlier. So this is all about the your direct personal investigation. Now you will be getting your another one is a indirect oral investigation. Now what is this oral investigation? See, what is the difference between this direct personal investigation, oral investigation, indirect oral investigation is the method by which information is obtained orally from the people who are expected to possess the necessary information, and not from the persons regarding whom the information is needed. Yes, what it is telling here, if the you want to ask some question related to person X, okay, but you are asking about X from somebody else, that is the indirect oral investigation. So it is written here, method by which information is obtained orally from people who are expected to give necessary information, and not from the person regarding whom the information is needed. For example, you need information from person X, but you have gone to person Y, person Z, person A, person B, who are very much close to person X, and you asking question from all these people about person X. That is an indirect oral investigation. Now there are certain merits also there. Covers wide area, cost effective, simple, expert opinion. Yes, by this you can gather a good information from various people about that person X. There are some demerits also. Lack of accuracy, it may not be accurate. Okay, the person X for person Y, Z, A, B, this person's peoples may not give a accurate information related to X, because they only know X. They are the third parties. Okay, personal bias, yes, it is personal biased. Biased means they are depending on, personal bias means very much adamant, you can tell. The this thing, the person Y, person A, Z, A, B, they may be very much adamant. They cannot able to give certain or good information related to good X. Doubtful conclusion. Yes, What is the guarantee that YZAB gives a proper information for a person X? This may not be possible. Okay, doubtful, maybe or full of doubts. So this is the all about indirect oral investigation. Third is your information from local sources or correspondent. What is this thing? Under this method, local persons or correspondents are appointed in different parts of the area to be investigated. They collect information in their own way and present it to the investigator. These correspondents are trained to collect the information from the respondent. Yes, it's all like census. What happens? Census, when the government collects, is the government come to your house and ask about all your family members? No. The government appoints some people, government appoints some members who are trained members, who are efficient, and they go to each and every family and they collect a suitable data, make a suitable information pattern or paper, and they submit all these papers to the investigator, okay, or to the government, for example. So this is all about information from local sources as correspondent. For example, you can see it is written, radio and newspaper agencies generally obtain information about strikes, thefts, accidents, etc. by this method. Example, it is adopted by government departments to get estimated regarding crops, wholesale price index number, and other areas of public interest. Yes, it is always done by government. Since government cannot come directly to our house, government appoints some members. Now, what is the merits? Merits means advantage. What is the advantage? Wide coverage. Yes, by coming if you're appointing many people for investigation, so it will cover wide area. Okay, you are appointing 20 members, so 20 members will gather, they will scatter around all over area and they will start gathering getting the information. Now, inexpensive, it is not too much costly. Regular information, yes, regularly you can get information from these people or staff. Suitable for special purpose. Okay, suitable for special purpose, for some special, for example, crop situation, for example, price of crop, for example, census. For these all things, this information from local sources correspondence is very, very effectfful. There are some demerits also. What are those demerits? Lack of accuracy. Yes, if the staffs are not much efficient, to collect the information, they may be lacking in accuracy. The data are not be accurate. No originality. Yes, they may not be original, because the government is not doing the work in its own hand. He is appointing, or it is appointing somebody, other members who will do for him or her. So for that reason, there is lack of some originality. Okay, next comes your biased, time consuming, lack of uniformity. All the same things with the disadvantage and advantages more or less for this primary data are same. Okay, now information through questionnaires and schedule. Now you know very nicely, I think so many people may know what is a questionnaire. What is a questionnaire, students? Questionnaire is a question paper. In simple language, it's a question paper. Okay, a survey list. When a person or a salesman comes to your house with a paper, there are various questions in that paper, 10 questions, 20 questions, and all are MCQ, multiple choice questions, means tick mark. He will ask you which soap you are using. So there are 4 type of soap. It will tell you which one is better. You will tell about, they will tick mark. So a questionnaire, by a question, making a question paper, this information can be gathered. What is this? Under this method, data are collected by preparing a questionnaire. Okay. Keeping in mind the objective of study, a questionnaire consists of a list of questions pertaining to the investigation. There are 2 ways of collecting data on the basis of questionnaire: mailing method, enumerators method. There are 2 types of method which you know, which I have told you. Now, what is this mailing method, students? In this method, a questionnaire prepared according to the objective of the study is mailed to the informants with the request to answer and return them within a specified time period. An assurance is given that the answers will be confidential. Such questionnaires generally have a prepaid postage stamp affixed to it. Example, a mailing a questionnaire to government employees in an area to get feedback on their working conditions and related affairs. Now, what is this mailing method? Mailing means mail, email. Okay, so a questionnaire, for example, if a government wants to know that how the people are, how the employees are working for a particular office, how they are getting their services, so for that what they can do, the government may send a questionnaire to each and every person in their mail account. Okay, Gmail, www.something.com, like that, there they will send a questionnaire and government will request to fill up that feedback. Okay, questionnaire is always a feedback matter. Okay, feedback question. Government will request that please give the answers for these questions, and I am assuring you that it will be confidential. Confidential means nobody will know that what answer you have given, for whom you have told what. It will be confidential to the government only. Nobody will know other than government. So this is a mailing method. Okay, now what is enumerator method? Under this questionnaire, there are two types of method I have told: mailing method and enumerator method. Now what is this enumerator method, students? In this method, a questionnaire prepared according to the objective of a study is taken to the informants by trained enumerators who help the informants in recording their answers. The enumerator himself approaches the informants with questionnaire and asks them questions which are called schedules. Enumerator fills the questionnaire himself after seeking information. Enumerators are the person who help the investigators in collecting the data. They are trained to fill the schedule and put forward the questionnaire intelligently to procure accurate data. For example, if a purpose of investigator is to find out percentage change in monthly expenditure of employees of a factory who might need help to understand and supply the right information to the investigator. Now, who is an enumerator? An enumerator who is very much trained. First of all, an enumerator should be a trained person whose work will be first go to the approach to the informant who will provide information to that enumerator, and the enumerator will record all the answer which the informant is telling, and he will write the answer very nicely and intelligently. Enumerator only after listening. For example, many people does not able to answer properly, like haphazardly they answer. What is the work of that enumerator? The enumerator will properly arrange those answers which is given by that informant. Intelligently he or she will schedule it properly. According to the schedule, he will fill up it and he will send it to the investigator whom he wants to send it. So who intelligently cover up the survey in a proper manner, in a proper schedule, that person is only known as the enumerator. And the last of collection of primary data, you will be getting telephonic interviews. Okay, what is telephonic? Very simple. By telephone, when anybody asks questions from you. In a telephone interview, the investigator asks questions over the telephone. Telephonic interviews can be conducted in shorter time. This method allows the investigator to assist the postponent by the clarifying the questions. Yes, this telephonic interview, students, requires very much shortage of time, because in telephone only they can able to answer they can able to ask questions and can be answered very easily. Now students, I have told you about this questionnaire, about this question paper or many things. I want to tell you what will be the quality of that questionnaire, that question paper. Yes, the question paper should bear some quality. It should have some status. Does not mean that you will ask question which is of it is unnecessarily you're asking some questions, and it should be seen that that questionnaire does not create any much problem or disturbance or irritation in the mind of that informant. The informant should be very much enthusiastic, should get interest in answering from that questionnaire. All these things should be kept in mind when questionnaire is being done. So qualities of a good questionnaire, which is very much important, student. Number of question, yes, if the questionnaire bears 100 of questions, will you think that informant will sit and give you a proper answer for every question? He or she might be get very much irritated, or he or might be just throw that informant or investigator out from his or her house. Go out, I will not answer your question, you are taking very much time. So the questions should be short, the questions should be small, and the quantity of questions should be very much less, that it requires very much less time with that informant. Second, simple and clear. Yes, the question should be very much simple in front of the informant, so that every informant, whether he or she is literate or illiterate, can able to answer those questions. Proper arrangement of questions. Yes, it should not be that you are asking some person that will you how many children you are having. First question you have asked how many children you are having, then you are asking whether you are married or not. This is very much bad thing, student. It will listen very much awkward in the ear of informant. So first, what should be your synchronization of the question? You should ask first that are you married? If he or she says yes, then you will proceed with the second question, that how many children you have. It may be possible that he or she is married, but he or she does not have any children. So you have to think, you have to use your mind also. You cannot ask the question which would create very much problem or disturbance in the mind of that particular informant. Okay. Third question comes proper arrangement of question. I've told no. Fourth one, no personal questions. Yes, it should not hurt personally the informant. The questions should be very much simple. The question should be for overall. It should not hurt the personal matter of a person. Fifth, no mathematical calculation. Yes, there are there are very much illiterate informants also. All family members may not be educated. Some family members are uneducated. For those people, there should not be any mathematical calculation, because it may hurt their educational qualification. They must think that I cannot able to answer this type of questions, I am not getting any interest, go, I will not answer. No, there should not be any mathematical calculation. Sixth one, cross examination. In order to verify any particular information, questions may be set in such a way that the verification may be possible. Cross examination means that opponent information, you should not ask some question which may come an alternate question to yourself only. You are asking some question from that informant. It does not mean that informant may in return ask another question to you based on that question. That question should provide an answer from the informant only. Instructions. There should be proper instructions given to the informant before asking a questionnaire. And at the last, pre-testing of the questionnaire means before bringing the questionnaire into, you should judge yourself, take a test of yourself about that questionnaire, whether this questionnaire is legal or not, whether the questionnaire is proper or not. Okay, otherwise, if it's good, if in your mind you think that this questionnaire is perfect, you can approach the informant. The investigator who is carrying a questionnaire should be always be very much cautious about the questionnaire, that the questionnaire is very much simple, it is clear, it does not create any problem in the mind of informant, it does not create any disturbance or irritation in the mind of informant. After keeping in mind all these things, an investigator may approach to the personal informant. Okay, so this is all about your collection of primary data and methods of primary data. First method, again I will recapitulate it. First, your direct personal investigation. Second is your indirect oral investigation. Third, information from local sources or correspondence. Fourth, information through filling questionnaires and schedules. Under this questionnaire, there are two methods, mailing method and enumerator method. And at last, telephonic interviews And at last I have told you what should be a good quality of questionnaire. A questionnaire should be a good quality, and the points following for those good qualities I have told you. So for today's class, up till this much only. Tomorrow I will start with the methods of secondary data. What are the methods to collect the secondary data? And here you will be completing this chapter. I think so today very less students have joined here. So those who have not seen the class, please go to that link and please see the class, today's class. I will be sending you study materials in your Google Classroom. Okay, thank you everyone.